Won't it be Ryan the Great? And today we are talking the Philadelphia Eagles, guys. Normally I don't talk about coordinators and stuff like that on teams. We've been really on this coaching spree when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles right now. We've had a lot of coaching news in the past couple of days, whether it comes with the NBA or the NFL. But we'll be getting the player stuff pretty soon once free agency starts with the NFL and the trade deadline comes along for the NBA. But for right now, we're on the coaching spree. Vic Fangio is being hired for the Eagles defensive coordinator. Once again, I don't really talk about coordinators, but obviously it's the Eagles, so I have to cover it. Vic Fangio being hired with the Eagles defensive coordinator. Him and the Dolphins are mutually parting ways, so the Eagles will be hiring him. He is expected to sign. Sirianni had a press conference, and then while that was happening, I guess right after he was signed, I'm not entirely sure. I was actually kind of looking on X for all the quotes Sirianni was putting out, and I was kind of, looking at all that stuff. Then he put out something about, he was talking about the offensive and defensive coordinators. I thought the quote was pretty interesting. Make sure you guys go check out my X account at RTG to go look at my reaction to one of his quotes. But let's just get into this video. So before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, Linda Great Vlogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Run the Guy Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X at Run the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Run the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Run the Great Podcast. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's run the video. Let's roll that intro. Won't it be Ryan the Great? And today it'll be intercepted! The defensive line. What the hell are you doing? No effort whatsoever when it came to the defense. That he is 0 for 2 today. Come on, Stotty. Stop! Red flag! First pitch! Bring him in! Braxton! Stop! Bring that! Yes! Oh, damn. 1, 2, 3. What? Alright, let's hear the video. This is the third take. Please, can we not have any interruptions from the surroundings around me? Please. In case the surroundings around me hear me, can we please not have any more interruptions? Let's get right into the video. So starting off, what does this mean for Vic Fangio? Well, I think for him personally, this is actually pretty good because of the fact that, he was with the Dolphins last year. 2 years ago, he was with the Philadelphia Eagles as a defensive consultant, obviously under Jonathan Gannon. The fact that the Eagles didn't hire him in 2023 when they were looking at him is a bit of a concern in my opinion, but we can look past that now. He's with the Eagles now. Something I'm looking at here is how he was able to turn the Dolphins' defense into an average defense, into a really good defense. Obviously, the Dolphins have 56 sacks total on the season. That was third in the NFL. The fact that the Eagles took a step back in the sack department, which is when they could have set the record. They had the third most sacks all time in 2022. That is something that really brightens my spirits when it comes to hiring Vic Fangio, is the fact that we can get back to being one of the better teams to bagging the quarterback. Now, what does this mean for the Eagles themselves? Well, I've mentioned about the sacks already, how he's been able to turn, the Dolphins into a really good team when it comes to getting to the quarterback. But I'm also thinking about the other positions on the field. I'm thinking of the secondary as well. If you look at a guy like Eli Apple, who was obviously, being made fun of after signing with the Miami Dolphins because of his problems with Tyreek Hill. But now, I thought Eli Apple had a pretty good year. That could be testament to how good Vic Fangio did with the Miami Dolphins. I'm looking at Ramsey and Howard. Obviously, they played pretty well while their production was a little low because some of them were out for some games in this season. I'm also looking at guys that he was able to make them step up. Guys like Akuho. I haven't really heard of him before, but I think he played pretty well for the Miami Dolphins when he was in there. The fact that he can get some of these younger guys to step up does give me more encouragement. Guys like, we can help Kele Ringo, Roby and Eli Ricks, guys that have played pretty well up and down that could take their game to the next level. I think he will be able to help with that. I'm also looking at the fact that I think the Dolphins have one of the best linebacker corps in the NFL. When I'm looking at a guy like a Bradley Chubb right now, but I'm looking at a guy like a Baker, Two of those guys, they were some of the best in the NFL. Obviously, they got injured late in the season, so it is what it is there. But I'm looking at a David Long. He had the best year of his career this year. I'm looking at Van Ginkel. He had a pretty good year when, the stats show pretty average to what he has been playing with. So the fact that, he can create this linebacker core to become one of the best in the NFL, and that the Eagles have one of the worst linebacker cores in the NFL. Obviously, Nakobe Dean was hurt for most of the season. Zach Cunningham, in my opinion, took a step back. Morrow didn't have a good year at all, and Shaq Leonard really didn't produce much. I'm pretty sure he's leaving. He cleared out his locker at the end of the season, so he's most likely not going to be back. And maybe with getting Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the draft, bringing back Zach Cunningham, while having a Nakobe Dean. If you can have all those guys there, then I think you can have a good linebacker core. Maybe if you also draft Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the draft, if Nick Fangio can help these linebackers, step up their game, and the Eagles can really start contending next season. There obviously is questions right now on the offensive side of the ball. We have to wait for the offensive coordinator, but I will release the analysis when that coordinator move happens. So that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother Linda Great Vlogs. Make sure you guys subscribe to my second channel at Run the Cog Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X at Run the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Run the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Run the Great Podcast. We finally had no interruptions after the third take. Ryan the Great out. Peace.